Year-old pipe burst open this afternoon in Wheaton, right near Georgia Avenue and Shorefield Road. That water main break sent 2.5 million gallons of water blasting up through the pavement. Crews did manage to get the water turned off, and it has receded from the roadway, but now they've got to dig up that roadway to fix the big pipe. The burst also sent water into several families' basements, and for one, this is all deja vu.
The second time in 6 months.
Second time in 6
Yes,
months that
in
this
6
has happened.
months. Yes.
And
yes.
you got flooded last time and this time?
Yeah, same way like this time.
You can hardly blame him for being frustrated. Now, dozens of homes and several shops in the Wheaton Park Plaza are without water tonight, and the WSSC isn't sure what caused that pipe to burst.
Despite a warning of a possible terror attack over the July 4th holiday, thousands of tourists are making their way into the D.C. area. Now, to be clear, D.C. and federal officials do not know of a specific threat on Washington, but they are urging anyone who sees something suspicious to say something. Visitors we spoke with today said the warning is on their minds, but not keeping them from celebrating in one of America's most patriotic spots.
Coming here, I thought it crossed my mind a little bit, but once I got here, it's not really something, there's so much to see, you don't really think about it very much.
I don't have any anxiety about it. Obviously, we came down, we feel safe, we know that we live in a great country, and there's protection all around. Even though you don't see them, I know that they're here.
There are more than 18,000 feet of fencing around the National Mall, 9 checkpoints where visitors will have to enter. And remember, you can't bring in alcohol, weapons, personal fireworks, and new this year, no drones allowed. Yeah, they've got to make that warning known to you. There will also be a ton of street closures and metro changes over the 4th of July weekend. We have it all posted on the WUSA 9 app.
Well, the storms may be done for now, but the damage remains in parts of the metro area tonight. Strong winds from last night's severe weather knocked over this gas station canopy out in Bowie. A worker was at the store when it happened, but nobody was hurt. Throughout D.C., a lot of big trees just couldn't stand up to the storms and fell onto cars and into streets. Pepco crews have been out there hard at work all day trying to get the lights back on for some of the customers. Now, some of the worst damage we've seen today is up in Cecil County, Maryland, right near Pennsylvania and the Delaware state line. The severe weather banged up some boats and destroyed a dock. All's left is a pile of splinters. There have been no confirmed tornadoes from any of these storms. Likely that there were some high winds and heavy rain out there, and that is what did all the damage. And we just might see a few more storms tonight. Hopefully, though, nothing like we saw yesterday. Our tenacious Topper Shuts tracking Doppler 9000. What's up, Top?
Just a couple of storms that actually have heavy rain. We don't see any wind, don't see any hail, and really not much lightning either. But these are the storms. They've kind of remained in the same spot right along I-66, running through the district, and then out at Route 50. We'll zoom in a little bit and still lapse this. This is over the last hour. So pretty good storm trailing into Fairfax, and then this storm moved through the district, headed toward Clinton, and now into Upper Marlboro and over toward Shadyside. We are looking at heavy rain with this storm. This is headed toward Burke at about 7:09, so just about now, and Franconia at about 7:25. It's moving essentially east, maybe just a little south of east at about 25. And it does have pretty good rainfall in it. I mean, this is rainfall rates of about 5 inches per hour. I think that may be a little bit overdone, but needless to say, that is a pretty big amount of rainfall. Now, we are looking at this storm to the east, heavy rain from Upper Marlboro, and now the heaviest cell is just to the east of Shadyside, moving toward the bay. We'll come back. We'll talk about another round of storms tomorrow, again on Friday, and look ahead to the 4th.
New information tonight on the teen behind the wheel of a deadly crash. Sam Ellis tweeted this today, quote, "RIP, love you boys, see you again soon." The 18-year-old left a hospital today. Police say Ellis was driving last Thursday night when that car flew into a fence and landed upside down in someone's yard. The crash killed 2 of his friends, injured another passenger, and police believe speed and alcohol played a role in the crash. They had just left an underage drinking party. Another person is recovering from a shark attack along the Outer Banks. The 68-year-old man was swimming about 25 feet offshore in waist-deep water off Ocracoke Beach. He's got bites on his midsection, his hip, leg, and both hands. This is the 3rd bite in the past week along the Carolina coast, and officials have not said whether the same shark is responsible for all the attacks.
Well, after half a century, the United States and Cuba have restored their diplomatic relations. and agreed to open embassies in each other's countries. The president made that announcement from the Rose Garden this morning, and Craig Boswell reports while this is a big step for the two countries, there's still some kinks that need to be worked out.
The U.S. will be sending an ambassador to Cuba for the first time since 1961, 2 years after Fidel Castro's revolution. The U.S. and Cuba have been negotiating to reestablish embassies following a surprise announcement in December that secret talks had led to an agreement to restore diplomatic relations.
This is a historic step forward in our efforts to normalize relations with the Cuban government and people.
There are still some challenges between the two countries that need to be negotiated. The Cubans want trade embargoes lifted. The U.S. wants to talk about Cuba's human rights violations, compensation for American property seized in Havana, and U.S. fugitives taking refuge on the island. Craig Boswell, CBS News, the White House.
Now, Cuba's foreign ministry says its new embassy here in D.C. will open July the 20th. So, what's the reaction to this major change in U.S. policy? That would depend on who you talk to. Take the Gay Men's Chorus out of D.C., for example. Members of that organization are about to take their first ever tour of Cuba, and they're all excited about that. But if you talk to some folks with ancestral ties to the island, they may not be quite as happy. A local Cuban-American restaurant owner says he lost family members to the dictatorship, and he wants Cuba's treatment of its own people to get better before the countries rekindle any relationship.
It's degrading, insulting to us Cuban Americans to have someone doing this to us, aiding and abetting a person that really would never ever make any concessions.
To be able to go and connect through the arts with a community that maybe hasn't had as much exposure to the LGBT environment is really huge.
Secretary of State John Kerry is expected to raise the American flag in Cuba as soon as July 20th.
There is increasing pressure to take down a large Confederate flag that can be seen on 95 in Stafford County. Nearly 400 people have signed an online petition against the flag, organized by the local NAACP chapter. It all started after the shooting in a Charleston church. Wayne Cash put up his flag in his backyard, and he belongs to the group Virginia Flaggers, who say the Confederate flag is a symbol of pride and a tribute to their ancestors who died for the South.
The first time I saw it, I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed to be in a county where someone would feel the need to have that size of that symbol.
The flag is on private property, and this is the second Confederate flag they put up along I-95. The Secret Service sharpens its security outside the White House. A look at the new feature meant to keep people from scaling the fence.
And later on, no danger from this particular shark. But what was it doing riding the metro? Talk about it.
WUSA